So what is CRF? CRF, as I have told you, it is nothing but Central Road Fund. It was from in 1929. So in 1929, according to JICAR committee, it was planned कि 2.64 paisa per liter for road development fund should be collected from the petrol or whatever the fuels they're used for vehicles. Funds to CRF are obtained from cess imposed on petrol products, diesel and petrol in the following ways. An additional duty of customs, that is import tax, that was again levied. Then we are having additional duty of excise, that is tax on production. Then we are having, again, distribution of CRF. So mainly for the development of roads in India. So what are the CRF or what are the fund that is collected from the fuels that will be totally used for development of roads in India? From 2000, developing road projects fund is also transferred to Ministry of for Railways and construction of overbridge and underbridges that are linked to national highways actually. So we can see, whatever the development they are supposed to be, taken place in case of roads. So that was totally funded by this CRF. So CRF, what CRF will do, it will again transfer that fund to Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. We call it MORTH, and we are having chairperson or minister for that particular ministry, that is Honorable Nitin Gadkari sahab as of now. So whatever the developments they are running parallel to your roads or they are again with respect to my roads. So what are the fund that has to be transferred to all those projects will be again from CRF. Then in 2070, the CRF Act was amended to give 2.5% share to development of national waterways. Again, whatever except railways, whatever the things that are related to your transportation. So all that particular fund will be given to those particular projects by CRF. Then, in essence, the CRF amount is distributed among four ministries, that is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, as I have already mentioned, that is MORTH. Then Ministry of Rural Development, that is also again funding for your PMJSY, as I have mentioned in the previous slide. Then Ministry of Railways for funding railway bridges that are connected with roads. So what we see, again, whenever there is road crossing and railway crossing, so at that particular crossing, we have to either go for railway overbridges or underbridges. For those construction of those particular bridges, the fund will be again given to Ministry of Railways. Then Ministry of Shipping for development of national waterways, as we have discussed, after amendment that took place in CRF in 2017, in the manner prescribed under Central Road Front Act of 2000. So what are the fund that is collected by CRF that will be again distributed to this particular ministries again for proper transportation network. So coming back to next, utilization of Central Road Front. The CRF Act 2000 clearly gives guidelines about utilization of money, development and maintenance of your national highways. Then we are having development of rural roads. Then we are again going for development and maintenance of other state roads, including roads of interstates and economic importance. Then construction of roads either under and over railway by means of bridges and erection of safety works at unmanned rail road crossings. So what happens is this particular CRF or whatever the fund we are having, that will either go to your national highways or it will go to your development of roads across the state. Again, it will go to your Ministry of Railways for construction of those railway under bridges and over bridges at point of crossings, at point of intersections. Then again, this particular money that is collected from your Central Road Fund will also go to your Ministry of Shipping and Water for having that network of inland waterways, we call it. So that is also one of the good projects in India we are having, so that we will be having waterway transport inside the country. Similarly, the Act of 2005 amendment instructs about use of ₹2 road cess collected from sale of petrol and diesel. So this is a cess that is again collected. Then taxation scenario on petrol and diesel. So this is just a scenario. This is as of 6th May 2020 in Delhi. So how that particular what are the revenue that is collected is being vested on. Okay, so you can see the prices of petrol and prices of diesel, they are being calculated after So what final price a consumer or the user will be getting, okay, after going after having paid for your taxation and having paid for your whatever the yeah, cess we are having actually. So you can see fuel price after processing, then the margin and transport ready to be sent to petrol pumps. That is, actually we are borrowing it from other countries. Then we are processing that particular crude oil. Then after that, after we'll be processing of that crude oil, will be again going to get your petrol and diesel. So you can see after processing, what are the petrol that is sent to petrol pumps, it actually counts 18.29 rupees per liter. And in case of diesel, it is 18.78 rupees per liter. Additional, taxes, the excise duty, road cess, again charged by your central government. It is of 32.98. So you can see this particular 32.98 rupees. They'll again go to central government, that is CRF, on petrol, and in diesel's case it is 31.83. Then under commission on petrol pumps to dealers. So whatever the dealers we are having, again they'll be taking out their commission. It is of 2.56 rupees per liter for your petrol and 2.55 rupees for your diesel. Then additional VAT, that is 30% on petrol and 30% on diesel, that is again levied, and that will again go to your central road fund. So what are the additional VAT we are having? In case of petrol, it is 16.44 per liter, and in case of diesel, we are having 16.26 rupees per liter on diesel. So finally, what the consumer, whatever the users we are having, that will be, the petrol will be at 71.26 per liter, rupees per liter, and diesel will be of 69.39 rupees per liter. So this is how the tax scenario, is there in India. So you see a lot of money is being, collected in form of revenue by the central government, just for the sake of development of road network in India. Then moving forward, the next development that took place, that is IRC in 1934. So IRC is nothing but a forum of discussion, and where all technical discussions are being made, where all technical discussions regarding to your material, regarding to my construction, regarding to what are the modern technologies we are having in case of roads, they are all being discussed at a forum. So all eminent person, of private players and of government which are dealing with roads, they'll be coming to a single bench, and they'll be discussing what are the developments they have taken place in India and also in world, and what are the developments that are to be carried forward in India. They are being discussed at this particular forum. So as we can see, an apex body of highway engineering in country set up by the government of India in consultation with state governments in December 1934. A premier body of highway engineering in India to provide national forum for regular pooling of experience and ideas on all matter concerned with planning, then after that design of construction, maintenance of highways. It also recommends standard specifications and provides platform for expression of professional opinion on matters relating to road. So as we all know, we are having some IS standards. So these are actually framed at your IRC, and guidelines will be again given by MORTH. So what are the technical specifications, or what are the technical standard specifications we are having? They are actually framed by IRC or at IRC. It is also publishing journals, monthly magazines, and research bulletins. So to know the technical know-how as to what the road development is going on in India, so they are publishing again journals, then they are having monthly magazines and research bulletins, so that what are the road development that is taking place in India, or what are the road development that has to be taken place ahead, are being supplied to all the country. IRC is registered society under Registration of Society Act, and it is financed by contribution from central government, various state governments, and also contributions from its members and sale of publications. So again, what are the conferences they are having at that particular city? So they will be again funded by central government, state government, and what are the members that particular society is having. So they'll be again contributing for the conference only. The total IRC today, total IRC members are about 15,550. They are all active members, representing all stakeholders from India and abroad. So what happens is, what are the stakeholders in this particular IRC? So first stakeholder is central government. Then we are having state governments, and then we are having private players. And again, we are having some researchers which are actually contributing to road development in India.